Well, it is safe to say this thing has a little bit more go-go juice, if you know what I mean. The original diagnosis was that this thing right here had too much dirt in it. Dirt got in the line and, well, clogged it up. That's what happened last year. And they told us to drain the tank, and, well, we never did. We just never got around to it. So when I went in, I was like, drain the tank, blow the line out, and that should be good. Well, they did that. That didn't fix it. So come around to the other side. The lift pump. That's what was wrong. So as soon as I got on the road with this thing and put it in fourth gear, I immediately noticed quite a bit of difference in the responsiveness of the tractor. And then I got on this hill and I was in fourth gear blowing smoke, pulling the hill like it wasn't even that hard. And I was like, oh, there's a lot more power now. So it became pretty clear to me that this thing was actually being starved of fuel for quite a long time, and it makes sense now. You know, back, you know, throughout the winter when I would go to run this thing, I would start it up, and, you know, the first 10 or 15 seconds, it would kind of sputter, and, you know, RPMs would fluctuate. Now it doesn't. It pops right off and runs like a dream. Got power. It's really responsive. And another good thing, it rides so much smoother now that we took the fluid out of here and put tubes in. We don't have all that fluid sloshing around, so it runs really nice down the road. And we got this thing back just in time because I think here tomorrow or Saturday, I'm gonna mow down the last 10 acres of first cutting that I have, and that's about 5 miles away. So it's nice that the tractor's running good and runs down the road real well. These are all the wet hay bales from first cutting off of this field out here. I got them stacked up on this trailer, and I was gonna take them down to the steer barn today, but we got, I don't know how much rain we got last night, but it rained really hard for like 3 hours, so it could have been close to 2 inches of rain, which means it is going to be doggone freaking sloppy out the barn, and I am most likely going to get my truck stuck trying to back this into the barn. So we're just gonna let it on here and take it out when it dries up. I love this tractor. There's one thing that's frustrating with it. Third time's a charm. I'm gonna try out my diesel tank today. Finally put fuel in it. If this hose can even reach. It's working. You know, I filled that whole tank up with my tank on my truck, and the same time it would take me to put those 2 diesel cans in. So that tank on my truck was definitely well worth the investment of $400, and I'm very glad that I did it. And I don't care that I lost bed space, because I don't use my bed that often. And honestly, that diesel tank and toolbox is more useful for me than my bed space is, because I use that truck more of a service truck. And plus, the only reason I would need bed space is to put a deer in the back. And I can still fit a deer in the back. The only thing I don't like about this pump particularly is there's no shutoff valve on the end. So when I finished filling the 966, that hose was up like this. So there was a bunch of fuel still stuck in the hose. So then when I went to put it in there, I made a mess. But that's all right. We're gonna deal with it. The tank is just about empty. There's still some fuel in there, but because I'm sitting on a downslope like this and the pump sits in that front corner, it can't reach what's still back here. So there's still a few more gallons in there, but that tank is pretty much topped off and the 966 is topped off. I put $200 of fuel in here, which came out to, I think, about 60 gallons. The 966 has a big tank, so that took a good portion of it. And this tractor has, I think, I don't know, like a 25-gallon tank, and it was pretty much empty. So we used almost all that fuel, but the fuel that's in the tractors is actually gonna last us a very long time. It'll last us through the rest of first cutting and honestly well into second cutting. So again, good investment. Glad I did it. If you want to pick one up, this is a better built tank. I got this one at Lowe's on sale, but I believe you can get them pretty much anywhere. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out this particular model. And then this is just the GPI hand pump. It's the cheapest pump they had. If you have bigger tractors and you don't want a hand pump, they have a lot of other options too. So check it out. I'm glad I got this. And my favorite thing about it is it's got the toolbox. So I was able to transform my regular pickup truck into somewhat of a service truck, which actually really came in handy last week when we were making hay, because I had a bunch of tools in here and we were able to fix the case in the middle of the field. So glad I did that. I'm virtually ready for the last bit of first cutting. The only things I want to do yet is I want to grease the tedder, I want to grease the disc bind, I want to grease this tractor, I want to stuff some tin in here to tighten this up again, and I want to grease the rake and make sure this is ready as well. The 966 greased, fueled up, that tractor's fueled up, this needs to be fueled up. So that's kind of what we got to do. I went through the baler already, greased everything, oiled everything, even cleaned it off and blew it off. So it's ready to go. My plan though, this hay that I'm going to be making down here is super thick meadow grass. So there's good grass and there's a lot of bad grass. I'm going to try to small bale what I can. The thing is, this stand is getting away from me a little bit, so I don't know how much of it I'll be able to small bale, but I'm going to small bale what I can and big bale the rest of it. So it's going to be a big day of hay. There's going to be a lot of logistics running around. And yeah, might even be able to see a big baler in action. So stay tuned, guys. I know this was a short video. Stay tuned. We're gonna make some hay here soon.